here before? Awesome. So the rest of you are new? Welcome to Argentina. The land of dog walkers who have many, many dogs. It's weird, isn't it? I'm Eliana, I'm going to be your host tonight. We're going to have a great show. We have people from all over the world. And I'm American? No. I know I don't look or sound American, but that's because I'm from South America. I don't know if you were familiar. America is actually a continent. Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to offend any Americans today, but it's been 270 years. Like, you can figure out a name, but I mean, you can. And if you don't want to change the name of the country, the rest of America can actually change the name too. Estados Unidos. How about that? Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's a statement. Do we have people? Can everyone shout out where they're from in 1, 2, 3? Ohio! I don't know where you're from, but now I know Ohio people have really big lands. Wow, that's some. Wow, yeah, that's an attitude. Are you a sports fan?
Yeah, I like sports.
Yeah, I like sports! Isn't that the archetype of every sports person in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah! Go be a gorilla!
Oh,
yes.
right.
Thank you for your enthusiasm. I'm so happy to be here. I really like this show. I've been traveling around, so it's good to be back. I've been traveling. I've been to Mexico, Chicago, and then Mexico and back home. And it was a very weird experience, especially going through airports, because it's very different. Airport security at Chicago and Mexico City. Like, when I arrived in Chicago, there was an officer there, and he was like, "Are you trafficking people? Are you trafficking drugs? Are you trafficking traffic?" And I was like, no, can you please drop the gun, please? No. And then I arrived in Mexico for the second time, and she was like, "Oh, twice in a year. You must really like our country." And she gave me the forehead and made some taquitos for me. It was awesome. It was a weird experience being in the States, because I learned that there are some words that don't really translate into Spanish. For example, I learned that when in English you want to talk about an older woman who dates younger men, you call her a cougar. Checked. Now, when you want to talk about older men who date younger women, you call them men. Ooh. That's right! Be a gorilla! So I was Googling in Mexico. I don't know if this news came up because I was in Mexico, but I learned that 20% of men don't want to use reusable bags because it looks gay. Can anyone explain the relationship between gay sex and bags? I mean, probably I wouldn't know. It's not like I'm 4 AM in my house Googling like gay porn bags on their heads. Like not what I'm into. But what I did realize is that if reusable bags are going to be gay, then plastic bags are going to be straight. So the entire world is being polluted by straight men. And I think, thank you straight men for your confirmation. I think we should do something. I think Greenpeace should do something about it. They should run a campaign that says, "Save the planet, suck a dick." Does anyone here met their significant other through dating apps? Thank God no. Yeah. I mean, everyone gave it a shot, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm waiting for your confirmation.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a backup for straight. We have straight gay number 1 and straight gay number 2. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm typically scared of going on apps because there's a study that came out recently. They were asking people what was their biggest fear on using dating apps, and it turns out that girls' biggest fear is that the guy is a serial killer. Do you get that you could just say killer, and yet you choose serial killer? That's how low the bar really is. Like, oh, yeah, he killed once, but he can change. And then they ask guys, and guys' biggest fear is that the woman is fat. You straight pieces of shit. It's so unfair, because if you think about it, it's so much more likely that the serial killer will get laid than the fat girl. Because you cannot see them in the picture. Not fair. And I had to think for myself, like, okay, what would you do if you go on a date and the guy who shows up happens to be fat? And the truth is, I'd be relieved. I mean, what are the odds of him being both fat and a serial killer? And even if he were, how many blocks would he run after me? I mean, now I only date people who are 100 kilos or over. I'm sorry, skinny people, I know this is not nice, but it's not like you weren't fatting enough already. So if you have fat friends, please introduce them. It's weird because I like dating, but I'm not great. I mean, I realize my interests are changing now that I'm getting older. Like when I was 18 and a boy asked me out, I would think, oh, please hug her, please hug her, please hug her. And now when a guy asks me out, I think, please don't have children, please don't have children, please don't have children. And it's also, I hate rejecting people because I've been rejected. I don't want to make anyone feel that way, so I do the politically correct thing to do. Just lying. But I'm not good at lying, so it's weird. It's like, oh, thank you, I'm flattered, but I actually have a boyfriend. Really? Who is he? My cousin. You don't know him. It's weird, it's weird. I went clubbing recently. Has anyone gone clubbing here in Argentina? Ooh, do we have some exchange students here?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah, don't do that anymore. It's kind of dangerous. I hope this hasn't happened to you, but the last time I went clubbing, someone grabbed me from behind. Are you safe so far? Yes? Awesome. Yeah, just don't have access. That's the best policy here. So I was in the club and someone grabbed me from behind, and I didn't know this, but I actually have an inner ninja. It's very hidden, no one can see it, but it turns out that the button to bring out the ninja is right up my asshole, because the guy went like this, and I think, ah! Don't worry, nothing happened to the guy, he's okay. Like, this isn't strength or muscle, like, nothing happened to him. I cannot hurt anyone but a Milanesa, right? And the thing is, I told all my friends. I told all my friends because I felt very empowered and I want to tell them how much justice I did. And a friend of mine told me, don't you think you went a little too far? Do you know how much a nose can bleed? I don't know how much a nose can bleed, but I bleed every month and I'm not complaining, right?
That's right!
Thank you. So yeah, the thing is, I don't get my period every month, right? So I have the menstrual cycle of an old elephant. It is very likely that I will die before going into menopause. So I went to the doctor and she said that I take birth control pills, which is nice, like my health insurance covers it, but at the same time I had to come to terms with the idea that I will die young, full of hormones, like a Jewel chicken. And so now I take birth control pills and I have to take them every day at the same time. And what happens is that sometimes, I don't know, I'm at a party and I bring out my pills. And there's always an asshole, we would say a pajero here, that looks at me like, really whore. You like fucking with a condom, don't you? Which I don't get. I really don't get it, because I've never seen someone taking ibuprofen at a party and getting someone say, you little whore. You like fucking with a temperature, don't you? Doesn't work away. Still, I'm super into condoms. I'm very fond of condoms. But I do have to say there's a disadvantage to condoms, which is I don't know exactly what to do while the guy is putting on the condom. There's a moment there, empty, silence, uncomfortable silence. Online dating. Yeah. I would suggest, men, to use that time to sing a song. Maybe do some poetry. Why not? You can even sell ads. You can, like, if Spotify can do it, so can you. Like, make money off that time. And the thing is, I don't know what face to put while the guy is putting on the condom. So I've decided that I will just put on a blank face. Which is not that I'm not having fun, I am having fun, but I feel like any other reaction will be out of place. Even if I got excited. It'd be weird if I were like... a condom! For me? No, that's great, that's perfect. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna sing you a song. I like safe sex. I only have safe sex. No HIV, no chlamydia. I only have safe sex. Can you imagine the guy's reaction? I'm really sorry. I'm gonna have to go now. And I don't know exactly why this happens, but some guys, when you're naked, you walk with your legs open. I don't know what it is. I don't have balls or dick or anything, but I feel like if you have them, you have it 24/7. Which is weird because as soon as you get off your underwear, it's like, ah, it's hanging! Shut it. That's, yeah, my preference. Yeah, I don't think anyone knows really the color black until you've seen deep into a man's asshole. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. Has anyone taken taxi since you've been here? Yeah. We are excited. Nothing has happened to you yet? No. Okay. Now it's time you switch to Uber, right? I want to bring some information to you. I don't want to say that all taxi drivers are awful people, but they're awful people. They hate the poor, they rape women, they don't have change, really assholes, I mean. And they do this thing where they drive you around to charge you extra, especially if you're not from here. So me, being a woman, as soon as the taxi makes 2 extra blocks, I'm confused. Like, one day, I really want to ask the guy, like, excuse me, sir, are you driving me around to charge me extra? Or are you going to rape me? Rape you? Of course I'm going to rape you. Are you stupid or what? Oh, thank God, I only had 80 pesos. I asked my friends, all my friends, and all of my girlfriends at least have considered at least once throwing themselves out of a moving car. Some of them actually did it. That's how bad it is. So I had to think, like, Eliana, what can you do to feel safe when you're a taxi? And this is my tip for you. You get on the taxi and you pretend that you're a psychopath. But it has to be the best acting of your life, right? You get on the taxi and you say, take me to the Obelix! I want to see the Obelix real close! That guy doesn't rape you. He throws himself off the moving car. You caught.